I think it's going to be stable, around the $100 to $130 mark. That's a reasonable return. You can replace capital with that, and the steel mills across the world can make very good money from it.
Okay, to what extent is your outlook contingent on what's happening in China now and the opening up that we're seeing?
Look, quite a lot, because China exerts real economic influence all over the world. That you've got 2.5 years of pent-up demand. You've got a population who's both ambitious, educated, and hungry to get on and do things. So I'm not in the basket where I'm really deeply concerned about recession or depression. If parts of the world go into recession, I think it'd be short-lived, and I think China in itself, but also North America, will come into some pretty strong tailwinds during this decade.
But I'm also curious to see how your view on the reopening in China ties into your view on the property sector, because the property sector accounts for about 40% of China's steel demand. Obviously, iron ore key input there. So you would think that, again, the outlook there is contingent on the property market coming back again.
Yeah, look, I think the property market will come back again. There's a lot of internal pent-up demand there. People haven't been able to travel. They haven't been able to fulfill their dreams. There's so much pent-up energy in China. You've just got to speak to people there. And they're so delighted that they're opening up, and they're planning to go visit this and go and do that, and maybe buy this or maybe build that. And that hasn't been happening for the last 2.5 years.
So you think that 2023 will be the year that the Chinese demand does come back then?
Yeah, I think 2023 will be a real turning point for the world.
So where does what you do fit in with China's decarbonization strategy then? Because steel, again, is one of the big emitters of CO2 into the world. And China's trying to decarbonize and move away from high emissions products. But where does what you're offering fit into that picture?
Okay, so their big emissions come from transport, like everywhere else. All shipping transport can be replaced with green ammonia. All road transport can be replaced with other batteries or green hydrogen. When it comes to their other big emission source, which is making steel, because you use coal as an iron ore producer, we don't ship any carbon at all. Carbon gets put into the product, and then it creates heat, and what comes up is carbon dioxide, exactly what you don't want. If those steel mills, those very same steel mills, put in hydrogen, then what comes up the spout is pure fresh water as steam. And so we are pushing China, and China's highly reactive. You know, they've got great entrepreneurs there. We're pushing China to really amp up their green electron market to replace burning oil, gas and coal for energy, but also their green hydrogen market for transport, for shipping and making steel. It can fully replace coal.